Welcome, everyone, to Connections with Kyland podcast. I'm Kyland, and this is where I bring in some amazing guests as we discuss the people, places, and passions that we are connected to and how those impact our lives. We're recording here in Hollywood at Keyframe Studios, and I am joined today, very excited to have Kristine from the YouTube family dynasty that is FamilyFunPack. This is one of the biggest family YouTube channels on the internet. They have the most viewed vlog episode on all of YouTube, over 10 million subscribers on their main account, millions of subscribers between their kids who all have their own thriving YouTube channels and social media, over 15 billion with a B, 15 billion views, and that is billions and billions of hours, probably crossing into the 100 billions of hours by now. And I'm just really excited to have Kristine here. She's an incredible mother, incredible creator, and just someone I'm so thankful to be connected with. And I'm really excited to connect with you today and share some of your amazing story with everyone else.
Thank you for having me.
So you have an opportunity to go skydiving, to get paid to go skydiving.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. And you are currently choosing not to do it because why?
Because I'm scared.
How? But you've done things in the past when you were scared and you enjoyed them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like what?
Another one that these are all things I've chosen to do.
Yeah, you chose to do them.
And then when I start to do them, I'm like, what was I thinking? This is so dumb of me.
Yeah.
Because it's terrifying. So the first one was zip lining.
Okay.
And then we found this activity called zorbing. It's where you get in a giant ball.
Okay, yeah.
It's like 12 feet. It's huge. And it's like a ball and an inner ball. And it goes really fast down a hill. And you're inside the ball. And
you went down a hill in that?
yes. And you sit inside the ball. And there's some water so you don't like get rug burn, basically.
Are you running or are you just
You're
rolling?
sitting.
Okay.
But you kind of sit straight because the other ball goes around it really fast.
Oh, your ball stays in place?
basically.
Like gyroscope?
Basically,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
But it's a little scary.
Yeah.
It's very fast. It's down a hill. I mean, it took me a minute, and I went once, and I was like, I'm good.
Okay.
It's a little scary.
Yeah. So, but you're glad you went.
Yeah, I mean, now.
Okay. And then the zip lining was the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love scary things,
Yeah.
but I don't really love them.
But if you know that that's how you're going to feel afterwards, then what's to stop you?
Well, because skydiving is like not only skydiving, but it's also flying an airplane. It's two scary things.
Yeah.
So
But it's the same thing, but we just listed two scary things. All right, here's why I was waiting for us to be rolling talk about it because I was like, okay. So how many kids do you have?
7.
You have 7?
Yeah.
Oh man. I think that it's fair to say that kids tend to watch their parents. So the example that you want to set for the kids
Why'd you have
when
to
you're
do
scared
that?
to do something, just don't do it. Is that what we're going for? Is that what we're going for?
You make me feel so guilty.
Exactly.
Dang.
This is a very intentional and direct guilt trip because
It's
listen
working.
here. We have one of them right here. She watches her mom,
I do other things.
of course. But is that what the message that you want to teach them?
That's a good point.
So you're going to do it?
No.
So you don't teach them that message?
No.
No?
I'm going to remind them that you could still die. And I care more about being here for them than selfishly.
But we talked about this. You are more in danger when you drive your car any destination than when you go skydiving, like statistically speaking. So you do dangerous things every time that you get in the car. We do something dangerous. So now you can do something that is an experience of a lifetime. And I think that you've just done so many things that I feel like are outside of your comfort zone that you'll probably end up skydiving at some point, and you'll be like, wow, I should have done it when I could have been paid to do it. And then
Instead, I'll be
kids
paying
get
to
see
go.
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot of reasons to consider. Well, that's what I would say. Are there reasons that you think we should consider? Are there reasons that you should do it? You don't have to do it.
Only
Are
for
there
the
reasons?
money.
Only for the money.
That's the only reason.
Not
I would
the
do it.
experience.
No, because I'm scared.
I know, but I'm saying just like for zip lining and for the Zorb ball, like
Yeah.
afterwards, if you have that same experience, but even higher, of like, you know what, I'm glad I did that. If that were to happen, then that would be another reason, right?
I might think that, or afterwards, I could like just be so terrified that I'm like, I don't know.
So terrified that what? Yeah, walk me through that scenario. What's the negative scenario? We ruled out safety
being
because
really
we're driving.
scared.
Because we
Being
drive
really scared.
every day, almost.
I don't like being scared.
Okay, so how do you avoid being scared?
Avoid the thing.
What about pushing through the fear, you know?
I don't know. Some fears you can push through them.
Yes.
Like flying on a plane.
Yeah.
I've done that recently after
Okay.
taking like a 10-year break.
Really?
I did it.
Wait, when did you stop flying on planes? Like, what made you stop
Well,
flying on planes?
We were on a plane going back from Hawaii
Okay.
a long time ago, and one of the engines like blew up in the plane.
Yeah.
And we were over an hour out, and it was like really big. Yeah, it was really scary, and it became very bumpy. And then after a minute, the pilot's like, yeah, I'm going to elect to return back to the island. And the whole time it was just like this, the whole time. And I literally thought we were going to die. Like, I was like eating M&Ms thinking, oh, well, calories don't count, you know, but like, obviously we made it. But I mean, it was so scary.
Did you see the engine explode?
No, but we heard it and
You
felt
guys
it.
heard? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on the plane, engine explodes.
And apparently there's like 3 engines to go overseas.
Yeah.
Which I didn't find out until later, but still, it was still really scary.
Also,
and
three
so
feels so random.
we flew one time after that,
Yeah.
and then a trade wind hit the plane super hard when we were about to land, also into Hawaii. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm good. Like, I'm done. So I never
You're
flew
like,
again.
I live here now. I live in Hawaii until we find a boat to get me home.
Yeah. So I
How'd you
started
get
taking
home?
boats. Yes.
How'd you get home?
So I found my way. I started going on cruises.
Wait, did you really cruise home? Back from Hawaii?
I did.
No way. How long did that take?
I took a partial cruise. Oh my gosh, Kyland, I look like an idiot.
No, that you found a solution.
I did. I'm a problem solver.
Yeah. Wow. Wait. Okay. That's wild.
Yeah, so I paid the full
I was joking.
price
I didn't think you really boated back home
to
from
take
Hawaii.
a cruise. No, I started cruising
Yeah.
to like Canada.
Yeah.
And then we would drive.
Okay. Wait, before
Oh my
this
gosh.
incident, did you have
After.
problems flying?
Oh, no, before I was fine.
Yeah.
In fact,
Okay.
I like turbulence.
Okay.
I thought turbulence was fun. It was
Yeah.
like a roller coaster.
No, I feel it. I gotta be honest. That's traumatic.
So,
Be in a plane where they're like, "Hey, the engine's blown up,"
Yeah.
and I mean, it's one of those things though where our brain is creating a sense of danger that's not necessarily there, because that's why actually they say that you can cry really easily watching movies. A lot of people can cry extra watching movies on planes, is because somewhere in your subconscious, we can't put together, since we don't necessarily know the science, always the exact science of how planes are flying. Part of our subconscious is like, oh, we're doing something crazy that could conceivably be dangerous. And so then it puts you in touch with your like mortality. And then having that, being in touch with your
Yeah.
mortality, puts your emotions on another height. And that's why like a lot of people can tend to be more emotional. I don't know if you've ever cried during movies in general or on a plane, but I definitely have. But that's probably less related to that because I just cry in movies in general. But that's why. No, I think, okay, so that's an important piece of context, I will say. But you've flown since now.
yeah, it took a long time. Well, here's how I started flying again.
Yeah.
We were living in Hawaii during COVID,
Okay.
and we really wanted to get back to California. So we waited until like June or whatever to try to come back, but our cruise was canceled.
Okay.
So I convinced myself the only way off this island to save myself and get back to California is to take a plane.
Yeah.
So I considered the plane almost like a savior. I was like, I have to do it. Like, I've got to do it. So I flew, and it was so weird because this is like the dumbest thing, but I like felt like so adult
Yeah.
to get on a plane. It was the weirdest feeling, but I was like, wow, I'm like doing what everyone else does. Like, wow, look at me. Like, you know, like it was only in my own head, but I felt like very proud of myself
Yeah.
inside that I was flying on a plane.
That's amazing. So wait, it was just in
So-
your head and you felt super proud of yourself when you
Yeah.
did it. That seems like a good feeling to have.
Yeah. But it wouldn't happen if I skydived.
But what if it did?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, okay. We can.
I think there's steps.
I think there's steps. Exactly.
Yeah, I've got to do some other scary things first.
Okay.
And
Have you
live.
been bungee jumping?
No.
I've never been bungee jumping.
I'm not doing that.
Which one's worse?
Probably skydiving.
Really?
Yeah.
Bungee jumping, I feel like you are looking straight at the ground. That sounds scary.
That's
okay, but skydiving's worse. So perfect. So bungee jumping is like a step.
You know what's weird though?
Yeah.
One of my favorite kind of rides is the drop ride.
Yes.
It takes you really high up and drops you straight down.
Me too.
I like those rides.
I love that. That's my favorite ride at Disneyland is the Guardians one.
I love that ride.
Oh, yeah. See?
That's my favorite
Okay.
ride.
So, all right. So the next step then is bungee jumping.
No.
What's the next step? What's going to be, you said that you have to work your way up. So what's the work the way up?
Well, I mean, like there's other scary things I probably wouldn't want to do, like hang gliding or parasailing.
Those sound scary. Parasailing's like when you're holding onto the boat?
Yeah.
Sounds doable.
Or like even wakeboarding. I'm too scared to do that.
Okay.
I watched my whole family do it, but I was too scared.
Okay.
Because there's no one to hold on to me. If someone's not holding on to me.
But that's the thing. You have somebody holding on to you when you're skydiving. They're holding on to you and
I have to be able to
you.
maybe hold on to them too, though.
They can put their hand down. You can grab onto their hand, you know?
Really tight.
Yeah. Or we'll secure to you a giant like teddy bear or something that you can grab around. We can figure it out. What if we just go to the skydiving place and watch some people? And watch some people.
Oh, watching people?
Yeah.
I would watch them, yeah.
Okay. And then just see, and then just consider it. Because also, you can go on the plane and not jump. You can go on the plane, do the tandem thing, and then when you get there, be like, you know what? I don't want to do it. And
what else looks really fun is, not fun, like I don't want to do it, but fun for other people is when you go in the plane, the zero gravity.
Oh, I haven't done that.
Like
Where
that
do you even do
looks fun.
that at? Is that a real thing? People can do that?
It is real, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. But you wouldn't do that. You do it here?
No, where to do it, but yeah.
Craig's telling me we can do it here. I want to find that. Wait, okay, so would you do that?
No.
What? Okay. But you have to work your way up. What's the next step?
Okay, the next step for me would be maybe like trying to zip line again.
But you've already done that.
I can't do it again. I don't think I could do it.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do it.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do it.
So we'll find a zip lining and you would do that.
I'll try. I have to be able to do it.
But you can. We've already talked about it.
I know, but it's tricky.
But you would be willing to try.
I would try ziplining.
All right.
Especially at the course I was at yesterday because there's a baby line that's only a foot off the ground.
Okay.
So that's a good tester.
Okay, so how about this? What about in terms of working your way up? What if you were to go to a skydiving place and just get strapped up and get on the plane and not do it? Get strapped up in tandem and you don't have to jump. Just to try that exercise. So you're basically just riding a plane.
No, I don't want to go with that.
Would you do that? No. You wouldn't do that with me? We could go and we can bring David.
David could go and I'll film from the ground.
But we have to be on the plane with us. You don't have to jump. No. You just come with us. We have to. You said that you're going to intro. I know. I feel it. I feel it. But that's kind of exciting.
No, it's not. I'm sweating.
See, I told you it's cold in here, but you'll warm up.
I know.
That's the thing. No,
we're trying to make me do death-defying.
We have to figure out one of these things. We have to.
I can't even jump off the rock at my pool.
Yeah, but you don't have a parachute there. And
I know.
You have nobody holding on to you. That's scary.
If someone was holding on to me, maybe I could do it.
See,
I can't even jump off rocks into lakes.
That's scary. Nobody's holding on to you. You don't have a parachute.
There's just certain things.
Yeah. So
that I would love to do, but I can't. Like jumping off into the ocean.
But you've done those things that you thought you couldn't do.
Only some of them.
So you can do them even if you thought you couldn't. That's the point here. All right. That's our takeaway is that we are going to remind your millions of viewers and your 7 kids that hey, sometimes you think you can't do something, but you can. And then when you do it, you're better for it. So,
I remind my kids that all the time. I encourage them to do everything.
Yes.
And they, luckily, because I have a lot of boys, they always do it. But that's a good point.
Yeah. See, all right. Okay.
But there's other hard things we can do.
Okay.
And have done.
So what's the one thing that out of these things that we listed that you could do that we can plan?
Only ziplining.
Ziplining. All right. So we'll start.
It's like the only thing I'm even slightly willing to do.
We'll start
I already know I'm scared to do it.
Okay. We'll work our way up. See? But here's the thing. You're going to do the ziplining, and then that's going to be a step, and then eventually you end up on the plane, and you'll be like, wow, I should have done this. win. I could have gotten paid a lot of money to do it.
Oh my God.
See? So we can jump to that place in our head and be like, wait a second, how do we avoid that place? Because that's going to feel worse than jumping out of a plane. That's the case I'm making. We can revisit it, but I just wanted to make this case. But I think it's very impressive that you got back on planes in general, because that's a pretty scary experience. And I think that you could definitely be proud of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you had that experience. You're like, oh, I'm proud. Yeah, I feel like an adult. Like, I'm doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
And that's probably a really good feeling.
It was
I'd love
fun.
to duplicate that.
Packing a bag and like going on an airplane, like packing headphones, like I don't know, all the little things that everyone probably does on a daily basis. I was like, wow, I get to buy earphones and like wear them, and because I don't have a need for them.
But I mean, okay, so that's the thing is that, and that's kind of what I like, the conversations I like to have here is about how everything that we do is like connected to something else, all the people, all the experiences. And so I think that kind of moving towards that topic, like for this experience, for the plane experience, you had the packing and these little things. It's like, hey, I'm doing something that is scary. I'm doing something that is that everyone else does, sort of deal. Moving away, like I said, from the death-defying things for a little bit in terms of connections, the things that we're connected to. What would you say are the most important connections to people or passions in your life?
The most important connections?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So what's a connection that you've made that is with people? So like, actually, here, we can start here. We'll start here. We should start with, how did you and I become connected?
Well, we met at an event, and I obviously recognized you, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the one I picked to win Big Brother, and he didn't win.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry.
And then
I was
saw
sad too.
On the challenge, I was like, oh my gosh, he's the one I liked on Big Brother. And there he is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then we were talking about basketball because I was taking a picture in front of the giant.
In front of the big basketball, yes. Which I was heading towards because I love basketball.
Yes. Okay.
Only to find out that you aren't as much a lover of basketball as myself.
I'm not as much of a player of basketball. I love basketball. Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Basketball as much. Yeah, that's
not as much of a player.
Yeah, definitely not as much of a player. No, but okay. So connect the event, and then I think it's pretty interesting to share because we connected there, and then I think like a week or two later, I was just at your guys' house, just filming.
Yeah.
Filming shenanigans as far as we did the cursed babysitter.
Yeah.
And that was basically a fun time with me watching, 7 kids and trying to fight off a home invader.
Yeah.
You guys how long have you guys been doing that series?
Since 2020.
Okay.
It started during COVID.
Yes. And then I guess in general, how long have you been doing YouTube?
Since 2011.
Okay. And then I think it's crazy how you started on YouTube. So yeah. I'm sure you've told it a million times. You've told it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get your start on YouTube?
We started because we uploaded a video, or I uploaded a video to show my husband's mom.
Yes.
And it was 2 videos, and I couldn't send them over email. And so I put them on YouTube. And I didn't know public, private, and unlisted. I didn't know what that meant. So I put it on public so she could see the video. But then a million other people also saw the video.
How long? Wait, what was the time that you put it up, and how long before you went to go check it and saw that?
It was probably a couple months.
Okay.
I just put it up there. I thought that what would happen it would disappear.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the video would just stay there forever.
That's wild.
So I just assumed you put it up and it has a time limit. I don't know why. I had 0 social media.
Yeah, this is 12
at the
years
time.
Ago.
No Facebook. I had nothing. So except for email. I don't even think I was texting at that time. So, yeah, it was shocking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was 12 years ago. What kind of phones? Was iPhones out yet? Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think I had an iPhone yet either.
I feel like most people still didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so you post this video, and does your mother-in-law see it?
She did, but she didn't even say anything. She just saw it and went on with her life.
And then a few months back, you check.
Yeah. I asked her if she saw the video, and she's like, oh, yeah, it was cute. And I was like, oh, speaking of, I wonder if that video is still over there. So I look it up, and there it is with all these views. And I'd said my kid's name in the video, so I'm, of course, freaking out that a million people know my kid's name. And I'm trying to delete it, but I don't know the password because I wasn't planning on doing YouTube, so I did not write down the password. to the FamilyFunPack channel. So I had no way of logging in. So over the process of trying to get back into the account, I was convinced that it was okay to have it up there. And so we left it.
Wait, how did you come up with that name, FamilyFunPack?
I just sat there in my computer one day and thought of it when I wanted to upload the video, because you couldn't upload a video without having a channel name. So I had to come up with something.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wait, so you go on, you see, you're like, wait, millions of people see this. It's up there. Trying to delete it. But then when you do find the password, you decide not to delete it.
Yeah.
What was the thought? Like, what changed your mind?
Well, my brother-in-law was like, no, this is really cool. You should leave it. He's a computer guy.
Okay.
So he's like, this is cool. You should just leave it. It's really awesome. And I was like, no, it's not. Like, everyone knows my son's name is Zach. Like, I'm thinking, like, I don't know what they're going to do by knowing his name. But, like, you know, in my mom head, I'm thinking, this is bad, you know? So, you know, he just kind of told me it was good. And then we're like, I guess it's fine. It's just 2 videos. It's fine. So we left it and just kind of left it. We didn't keep uploading. We just left it.
And how long before you started uploading? Like, what's that timeline like before you decided? When it became intentional, I guess.
Okay, well, it still wasn't intentional, but our whole entire computer crashed and we lost all of our baby stuff, all of our wedding stuff, everything.
Oh my goodness.
And so it crashed and I was paying this company to back it up. And I stupidly hired them a second time after they burned me once. And very shortly after, because computers just weren't as good back then.
Yeah.
So I feel like computers nowadays don't crash as often.
Yeah.
So it crashed again. And I lost everything for a second time. And at that point, it was just so devastating that I could hardly stand it, because for me, I loved to take pictures of my kids.
Yeah.
I loved to scrapbook and do memories and little videos. I just always loved that. And I mean, to this day, my best day ever would be just going somewhere beautiful to take pictures of my kids. I just love doing that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, so it was very, very difficult to lose everything that I had. And so I started taking some random videos of the kids, because I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get something, because I have no memories, you know, they're going to have no childhood. And so I put some random videos on the YouTube channel, because I was like, at least they don't delete my stuff. So no editing, nothing, just clips of the kids. And people are watching it and they're asking, you should do more, you should do more. And I'm like, more? Like, why are you guys watching this?
Yeah.
And so it didn't really become intentional still. I didn't really edit a video until probably like 2014, maybe 13, 14-ish. So a couple years later. And then it would be like a once a week, like, you know, maybe I should edit a video. You know, kind of like that.
What was that initial editing like?
Well, I did not know how to edit. It was something I wasn't skilled at doing at all. And it was actually really fun. I edited a slideshow of pictures. And it was so satisfying actually doing it. I really enjoyed it. I was so proud of it. And I couldn't time it to the music. I could not figure out how to shorten things. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was still really proud of it. And that video has a lot of views, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so then all right, so have you asked people, like you said, you're like, why are people watching? Have you asked the viewers, like, what made you watch?
Not really, but we've gotten answers without asking.
Okay.
A lot of people they comment about it. Like they tell us that we were their childhood. We helped them learn English, and that they just like the realness and rawness of it.
Yeah.
And just seeing how the kids acted. They really liked watching the kids, the dynamic of the family. Like my relationship with my husband, they really like seeing that. A lot of people say they aspire to have a relationship like ours.
Oh my God.
I get a lot of comments about that. Like, I hope to one day have a marriage like you guys, and I hope to one day have a family like you. And people that are in like their 20s, a lot of the younger fans, a lot of the girls especially, they'll say something like that.
Oh, wow.
That they just want to have our family. And a lot of people say they used to always want to live with us when they were a kid. And I'm like, gosh.
It's pretty cool.
I didn't realize that back then. How many people like would say they wish they were my child.
I mean,
and, you know, like, gosh.
I feel like I walked through the front door and there's immediately a ball pit in front of me. I was like, this is a cool place to be. This is fun. You have ball pit, piano, kids are doing everything. It makes sense that people what's one of the like most memorable sort of touching like comments that you got?
Oh man.
I'm sure there's so many.
There's like a couple that stick out actually. Like one was like this lady who mentioned that she learned something from our video. I don't even remember what it was she learned. But you know how they say something you don't remember like what someone says but how they made you feel? It's kind of like that. And she said that like my parenting style and how I taught her to like parent with love. Mm-hmm. And it like really like stuck with me how she said that, because for me, like I didn't think about that. Uploading that video, that wasn't what I was trying to do. I had something completely different on my mind. And her takeaway was so different than what I was giving that I was like, wow, you do not know what people are getting from you. You really don't know what they're going to pick up on, these little nuances.
Yeah.
And she just said how I really helped her, like with parenting and how to love her kids more and how to be more patient and all these things. And I was like, what? So that was one that really stuck out. Another was actually just this lady that we were doing a giveaway, and we were partnering with a toy company, and they wanted us to donate the toys to like a hospital.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's not good enough. I am not just going to get a bunch of toys and drop them off at a hospital. That's so like not personal, and it's not memorable. And so I said, no, that's not what I'm going to do. So we went to like Kohl's and other places, and we shopped the sale rack, and we bought tons of clothes in kid sizes. Lots of good stuff. And we got toys, and we also got a little bit of food and like soaps, like different things people could use. And we basically sat outside like places we thought lower income people might be. And we stocked them, and we'd watch them. They go in the store, and we wait for them to come out. And then we would, because I have a lot of kids, I'm really good at judging sizes. So I would walk up with like, here's some clothes for your kid. Here's some toys, and people would just be like, what? Is this for real? And I had the kids do it too. It wasn't just me. It was usually the kids, because I wanted them to personally like hand things out.
Yeah.
And I just remember this one lady, we didn't have much left, but I saw her over at the carousel, and she was like the most grateful lady. I felt like she really, really needed it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's just like always stuck with me because we just gave her like Candyland or something. Like it wasn't that good, but she was the most like shocked probably of anybody that we had donated to. And all I was thinking was, I wish I had more. Like, I wish I had more to give you, But I've just never forgotten that lady just sitting there with her kid at the little carousel.
Oh my gosh, that's
So there's a couple, but I mean, that's just a few of the ones that stick out.
Wait, and then so you, did you grow up in a big family, or you did not? You did. How?
I have 5 younger siblings.
5 younger siblings. Okay,
Yeah.
so I feel like, we just had Mother's Day, and I feel like there was, I saw some posts that were just like, make sure you send all of the oldest siblings, the oldest sisters, Mother's Day cards. So I feel like,
nice.
do you feel like that was that helped prepare you for mothering, or what was that age? Was it?
Well, there was a
being
big
the biggest
age
sister?
gap.
Yeah.
So I was 7 years old and 12 years older than all my siblings. And I also babysat a lot as a kid. And I think because I was 7 years older, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about it, when you have a sibling 7 years later, they can't do anything for like at least 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? So technically it's more like a 10-year gap. And so by then, you're so much older. I remember writing stories as a kid, and I would give myself 20 kids, and I would write their names down, and I would like write out like my dream life of having all these kids.
Oh my God.
So it's just something that I always would like talk, like, I don't know. It was just like what I loved. So for me, like having my kids close together was a big deal because I felt so alone my whole life. So Alyssa and David, they're 21 months apart. And then David to the twins are 18 months apart. But like, I didn't obviously know I was going to have twins.
Yeah.
But I really wanted my third baby fast because I was like, my kids are never going to feel how I felt, which was so alone.
So wait, what's the all right, youngest kid to oldest kid? What's the age gap?
Alyssa is 16 and then Chloe's 1. So she was 15 years older.
Oh wow. Would you say going from having that many kids, do you feel like it's been less challenging or more challenging than you would have thought?
Less challenging, actually.
Yeah.
I really like having my kids. Yeah. I don't feel like it's hard at all. In fact, if one kid's gone, I'm like, gosh, it's quiet around here. Like, I totally notice it. And like, if someone's at soccer, like it's way different. I love having them. If I was not a social media influencer, I would probably have like 10 kids. But I don't have a lot of kids only because of like the world judging me. Like when I had my sixth kid, actually, everyone was mad. Like no one was, I mean, some people were obviously happy, but like the overall thing was like, oh my gosh, like, why are you having another kid? Like just so much negativity. I'm like, why not? Yeah. You know, I love him and I can take care of him all of myself. Why not?
Wait, so what's the, you said it's a lot of negativity. Like what, why does your work make you feel like you don't want to have 10 kids? And so,
well, because it's very difficult when you feel like the whole world is judging you.
Okay.
And it's hard to unsee some of the comments and the rude stuff they say. It still doesn't really completely control my life, as I do have 7 kids. I don't really care, but it's still, I just think that it kind of held me back a little bit because I just know like how much people will just say mean stuff, and that's all.
I remember one of my friends said that the social media influencer, another like old school like YouTuber, like he was started probably 10 plus years ago, and he said that the negative comments on social media are usually more intense, but far fewer. And I feel like that's what I've noticed since I started like becoming just in a smaller way, like in the public eye and getting the commentary and stuff. Do you feel like overall it's been pretty supportive? Or
Yeah, like on Instagram, it's generally pretty supportive. And even on YouTube, there's like the handful. It's just the problem is those handful.
Yeah.
They continually beat you down.
Yeah.
You see them. And it's true. You'll have like 50 positive comments and that one negative comment. You just remember it sometimes. There's just these certain ones that I can't get out of my mind, There's more than a few. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Especially before when our channel was wildly popular. It was even worse. There were just so many people that were jealous that they would do everything they could to try to bring us down. And so that's tricky. And then, of course, on TikTok, the comments are just like a lot of positivity, but a lot of like real weird stuff.
Do you interact with the negative comments?
I try not to.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, someone will say something on YouTube, and I'm just like, no. And I'll just kind of like shred them apart, and I'm like, oh, should I have done that? But I'm like, if they say something that really crosses a line, then I'm like, don't you dare. Because there's certain things that just, I'm like, that is so far from the truth that I can't let that slide.
Do you interact with the positive comments?
Always.
Nice.
I try to always heart the comments, and I try to reply to as many as I can. I used to personally reply to every single comment, and I'm not joking, every single one of them. For literally years. And this is when our channel was getting 1 million views overnight. We would sit there for hours, me and my husband, and then we'd even pay my sister to reply to comments if I couldn't do it myself, because it became so much work that I was spending like 3 to 4 hours a day just trying to keep up with the comments. And it became stressful because I couldn't do it all. It was just so much. With
oh my goodness.
Also doing all my own editing at the time. And then also, my kids, life.
Yeah. Also just, managing the kids, their lives.
Which explains why I let myself be the last one on the totem pole for so many years.
So that's how you and I are connected, and how you're connected to your connection to YouTube, how you ended up there. So I guess what I'd love to know is, what's an important connection? Like, what would you say is the most important connection that you've made in your life to like a person or to a specific passion? So like, we've talked a lot about basketball and your family, your husband. Like, is there any specific connection you're like, yeah, this connection in my life led to this?
Interesting.
Think about it.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I feel like I have like a different kind of, rather than like a personal connection, I guess. I'm trying to think. There's so many like social connections that have led us to do really cool experiences and really like amazing things we've been able to do. And obviously the connection like with family is important. And I actually would have to say my connection to athletics over the last 3 years has been a really important one.
I know we've talked about that. Tell me however much you'd like to share. I think that's a really cool story.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because I am hoping that we're about to help a lot of people, which is always a good thing to do.
Yes.
My trainer's been telling me that, he keeps saying, I don't know why you don't share your story more often. And I'm like, well, judgment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel that confident in my own body.
What's that story? Yeah.
Well, I've lost like almost 70 pounds in like the last 3 years.
That's wild. Yeah. 70 pounds is a human.
I know.
A small
But
human.
it's like I'm also like almost embarrassed to say it, because it's like, how do you let yourself get that out of shape too? But then I'm also like, well, I understand how, because I did nothing but work.
And manage.
Never couldn't go to the gym. I kept paying for my sister always tells me I'm running an empire. That's what she loves to tell me I'm doing.
I was just with my sister. She has a 2-year-old, and my brother-in-law, and they were saying how it's basically just keeping someone alive who doesn't have full regard for their own life.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'd imagine, and that's one kid. So I'd imagine that I'm sure as they get older, they become less suicidal in their actions, like
So true.
in terms of what they're trying to accidentally, unintentionally suicidal.
Yes.
They're just like, I was walking with him down the street, and he was just saying how, I was walking with my brother-in-law, and he said that he was walking down the street with a friend who has kids, who has a 2-year-old, and was like, wow, it's so nice to walk around and not have someone that at any moment might run into the street, and you're just trying to make sure they don't hurt themselves.
Yes.
So I think that it makes sense that you were busy and doing a lot while managing what I feel like is safe to say an empire makes sense. So, okay. So
it was a lot.
You're doing a lot. And then what shifted for you?
I don't really even know. It's like, I always have liked going to the gym. I've always been interested in that. In my 20s, I was obsessed with going to the gym. But then it's
basketball or just anything?
Playing basketball.
Because you were playing a lot of, it sounds like, from what you were telling me.
I would play like 5 to 6 hours at least a day of basketball. That's all I did.
Wild.
Even when I was married, when we were first married, we played basketball all the time. When I was pregnant, I still played basketball. And all the guys in the crib would be like, are you sure? I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, let's go, you know? But like, then it's like I had the twins. I played until I was pregnant with the twins.
Okay.
And that changed me because I almost died when I had them, and it just really set me back. Like,
you almost died when you had the twins.
Yes, it was a terrifying experience.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And my whole body like completely changed after having them, and just getting all the blood that I lost back took months. It was months. I'm not joking. It took like at least 3 to 5 months. We couldn't go in the car for more than 5 minutes without me almost falling asleep. And that is not like me. I'm not a napper, unlike you, who can fall asleep anywhere. That is not me. So, I mean, it was just crazy. I couldn't stay awake, just trying to like rebuild my own body back.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear the babies crying at night. Matt would wake up and he'd be like, oh my gosh, they were up 3 times. I was like, they were?
Wow.
I didn't hear them once, you know? So it was just crazy. So it was that. And then YouTube, just, you know, I did not have time for anything because it would take me 6 to 8 hours sometimes to really edit one of our 24-hour videos. They were just very time consuming. I was very particular about how I wanted things edited.
Yeah.
And so it just took my all of what I had, that, and then kid raising, and then keeping the house clean. I've never had a house cleaner.
Yeah.
I clean my own house. So everything is like me doing it unless I delegate. Right. So it was just a lot. And so I, told Matt, like, let's go play basketball. One of these days I went, and we were walking into 24 Hour Fitness, and they had a class, and they said, oh, you guys want to go for free to this class? And I was like, well, I mean, like, I guess, like, why not? Right. Well, of course, after the class, hey, you want to sign up? And it's a paid thing. I'm like, of course you offer me this free. This was a little game to get me into your class, wasn't it? But I kind of liked the class.
Okay.
So I said to Matt, why don't we just do it? It'll force us to go. We'll try it out. Right. Well, the trainer that was doing the class is my current personal trainer. So obviously I liked him. I loved his energy.
I met him. It's great.
Yeah, I loved him. And whatever it is about his personality, it just clicked so well with me, his positivity and like encouragement and everything. So after a while, I said, why don't I just try personal training? Like, I'm just going to try it. And it was very, very difficult to do that decision because it meant taking money and putting it towards myself, and not a little, but a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I really felt selfish doing it. Like, I really was very, very hesitant to do that. So I was like, okay, I'll go. I was thinking in my head 1 day a week. And so I asked him, and he immediately goes, okay, that's great. Let's do it. My minimum is 3 days a week. And I was like, 3? Okay. Like, I'll do it. Right. So I start doing it, and I'm thinking I'm not going to get any results, but at least I'm trying. Like, at least I'll just be going, whatever, you know, for a little bit. That was kind of how I looked at it. And of course, he's telling me I should take some before pictures. And of course, I'm like, I'm definitely not doing that. And now I regret not doing it because I don't have any really great before pictures because I was always hiding in the pictures. I was always where you couldn't really see me. So there's no really great shots. So anyway, I kind of like lose a couple pounds, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, okay. And when I lost like 10 pounds, I was like, wow, I feel really good. I couldn't believe how happy I was. So fast forward, now it's 3 years and I've lost like almost 70 pounds. I feel way better about myself, and the benefits are beyond just like health and wellness, but like my mental health is so much better. I have not had any migraines. I don't have all this anxiety. I just feel confident and like better and happier, and everything's better. So that connection with him has been so important to me because he wants me to help with this fitness program that we'll present to our fans.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it really cheap. Like, he wanted to make it more expensive. And I'm like, it's not about the money.
Yeah.
I just want to like make it affordable so people really think they could afford it, and it'll be worth it for them, because it's going to be the exact workout that I do. And hopefully will help a lot of moms that feel like they can't do it, because I'm like, I know everyone says if I could do it, you could do it. But for me, like, it's so true, because I really didn't think I would actually ever get results. And like, to change, like, I've changed like 2 regular sizes. I've changed like 6 or 7 dress sizes.
Wow.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Amazing.
it's crazy. Like, I don't know.
How do you feel?
I'm like, I'm still kind of in shock. Like, in my head, sometimes I feel like I'm the old self a lot of the time, actually.
Okay.
So that's also why I kind of struggle with talking about it to the fans, because in my head, I'm just like still the old person.
But like, I guess in addition to changing dress sizes, like, do you feel more energy, or do you feel able to walk, like move around easier, or like what's that energy like?
I do feel like I do have a little more energy. My strength is like definitely better. Yeah. Like, I feel way more confident as far as my strength is. Yeah. The interesting thing about it is I don't noticeably feel like lighter all of a sudden, because it's happened so gradually.
Oh,
so it's hard to like notice it. But this was crazy. We were at the gym the other day, and I saw this 50-pound weight. Well, I guess this was like actually like a few months back, not the other day, because I had lost a little over 50 pounds at the time. And so I said to him, like, I want to see how much that feels like. And so he's like, well, pick it up. And I went to go pick it up, and I couldn't pick it up.
Oh my God.
And I was like, it's too heavy. Can you pick it up for me? So he picked it up and handed me the weight. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I could not believe it. Like, just holding that 50-pound barbell in my hand, it was so heavy.
And you were moving around doing everything in your life with that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay. So, all right. So I've seen people, they'll buy the new exercise bike or buy whatever, and it just ends up, collecting dust or places where you can dry furniture. So for you and your program, like, this is a program you started, you stuck with it. What's the best tip that like helped you stick with it that people can take away for when they start your program?
Yeah.
Or whatever program they're doing to improve their life? Like, what helped you stick to it?
Well, I told myself when I started this that I was committed, and that I was never, ever going to miss or flake unless I really had to. And I have kept that commitment for 3 years. I just haven't stopped.
Yeah.
I don't just miss the gym because I want to go shopping. I don't miss because I have something else more fun to do. If I have to miss, it's because I'm sick, which I've only been sick once in 3 years. Thank goodness I have not had to miss for sickness. But it's because I truly am out of town. And if I'm even going out of town, I'll usually be like, can I go in the morning today? And I'll leave out of town that evening. I'll try to work it out if it's a quick trip, that I'll try to get one last work in, whatever I have to do. So that's what I said. I made a commitment, and I vowed, I completely promised never to break that commitment.
What's the stakes? What stakes did you create that made you stick to the promise?
I don't even know. I just promised. I just told myself I'm never going to miss. I'm not, because I will say it's kind of how I am in my life, though. Okay. If I make a promise, I don't break it. And if I have a goal to reach, I really do try to achieve the goal. I'm not one to give up on my goals. Yeah. And like in school, I wanted to be the star student, and I was. Yeah. Okay. Like, that's kind of how I have been. And so I wanted to make sure that I impressed my trainer and that he was proud of me. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe for me, because that's how I kind of work, it worked for me. But I still think if you just make a goal and you promise you'll never break it, and you do everything you can not to break it, that you can do it. Yeah. And that's how you're going to get your results.
No, that's huge. I definitely believe in that, making promises to yourself. And then it just builds confidence in what you say and the words that you're after. And they say, like, if you keep promises to yourself, then you develop, like, basically trust in what you say. Mm-hmm. And then so when you set a goal, it's exactly the results you're talking about. So the last question that, as we wrap up here, is there any sort of, you have this connection to athleticism, connection to your family. Is there any sort of connection that you're interested in developing, like whether that's with a person or a new interest over that you're looking at right now, like towards the future?
Ooh, these are good questions. I don't know the answers to them.
Well, see, now we're thinking on it.
I know. Let me think. Gosh. I mean, I don't know. The sky's the limit. I mean, honestly.
Ooh, I like that.
There's so many connections. It's hard to pick just one. A connection I would have liked to make that I no longer can make was going to be with Kobe Bryant. That was a connection that I was determined to make.
Mm-hmm.
I was like just determined.
Yeah.
That was going to happen one day. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It's
tough.
hard to say. It's hard to say just one thing. I mean, there's so many great like causes too that you can be a part of.
You have a favorite thing about Kobe?
I like his commitment, honestly. He's so committed. He never left the Lakers. Even if they weren't winning, he stayed with the team. And he showed that you can just be committed to that and you can have a goal and keep with it. Like, honestly, like, it's a great goal. And it's just such a great, like, example to set. And he was such a advocate, thank you, of women's sports.
Yeah.
And I think that that's lacking right now. And I wish he was here to advocate more for women's sports and women's stuff.
Well, we're here.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And it's hard to say. I mean, there's other athletes and stuff that I also admire, but no one nearly as much as Kobe.
Okay.
Yeah. And
looking forward, you're saying causes that you might look forward to?
Yeah.
Anything?
Like things with kids. Like,
Okay.
I love helping kids.
Okay.
Like I think I recently partnered with like a foster care thing that we're going to be doing some donations to like help foster kids out.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I just, my heart goes out to foster kids. I know a lot of them personally, and I know some kids that were adopted that are our friends adopted. And so I like to help kids in those situations and babies. And I would like to do those kind of connections more.
Yeah.
It's difficult sometimes, but I really enjoy helping people and feeling like I'm making a difference in people's life. Like that's like my favorite thing is when you feel like you're making a difference. Rather than, cause it's not that fun when you just like give money, but when you can like really see something in firsthand, that to me is just so meaningful and impressionable when you can personally help someone out.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I think it's a great takeaway for everyone. And yeah, I mean, I just really appreciate you making the time, not just to connect with me when we first met, but then to invite me over and get to film and just hang out with your family. It is such an experience because there is truly, it makes sense that so many people would watch you guys and feel inspired by the love that you have with your kids and the relationship and with your husband. And just, it's such a great energy that I'm thankful to be around. I'm thankful for the connection with you. And yeah, I really appreciate you being here.
I have to say something though.
Tell me.
Because when we first met, you also are quite endearing and inviting because you weren't just like, oh yeah, so nice to meet you, see you later. I'm pretty sure you said something like, well, you know who I am, but tell me about you. That's what you said. And I haven't forgotten that either because you cared enough to be like, well, tell me about you. Who are you? And so, I don't know. I thought that was really cool because had you not said that, none of this connection would have ever happened because I would have just been like, hey, let me get a picture with you. I thought you were awesome. Okay, bye. Right? But because you took the time to try to get to know me back.
I'm so glad I did. So thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Alyssa, for joining us as well, for making the time, commitment as well. And I'm just really, I'm thankful to know you guys and to be accepted into this family. And I'm excited to do more and connect with you all more. And I'm excited for us to go skydiving. That'll be so much fun.
After we zip line.
Yeah, after we zip line. Now we have that on tape.
Oh, shoot.
It's there. It's happening.
Well, I didn't mean like right
Thank
after.
you. Thanks for saying. I appreciate it. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of Connections with Kyland. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're listening on audio, be sure to share this with anyone who you think could enjoy it. Feel free to comment on all the platforms. Really appreciate it. And of course, you can find Kristine and FamilyFunPack at FamilyFunPack on YouTube, on across the platforms. And then the TikTok though is
Kristine Pack.
Kristine Pack. And you can follow all of their fun adventures. They do amazing things. You may, see me popping up here and there in a couple of fun videos that we just did and more coming along with some other friends. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you again, Kristine. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Keyframe Studios and everyone for having us here. And thanks for joining. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, wait. Thanks for joining. We'll connect with you more soon. Either one.
We got it.
Cool.
I like that. Connections with Kyland. I like that.
Thank you.
That's the kind of name I would help you come up with if I was helping you.
I believe it.